Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings. And I'm super excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for your Wednesday. Hope you are doing well and had a great week last week. Good start to this week. The days and the weeks are just absolutely flying. I think I say this like every episode now, but it's just really mind-blowing to me. 2/3 of the first quarter of 2025 are pretty much over. And so you know what that means. Taxes are right around the corner. If you file as an S-Corp, then your deadline to file is 3/15. So you got March 15th coming up, and you can file an extension if you need to. But usually you want to get that done before the 15th if you want to get your return tidied up and see what you're looking at for 2024 taxes. But you got to love the word taxes, right? What does taxes mean? What does it look like as you grow? How do you pay them? All the things. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about taxes in a negative connotation, and before we get into it, let me preface this. I don't know a lot about taxes, right? I'm not a tax professional. I've not chosen to spend my time learning and educating myself a ton about taxes. Now, as we grow, I can tell you right now, we will hire better and more in-depth tax professionals to help with that, and I will probably do some more education as we start making any real money. But at this point, we haven't made enough real money, right? Kept it, had really fat profits for it to matter that much. And so you may say that's an ignorant statement. It may be, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to just neglect learning about taxes and how to use the system. I just haven't done it up to this point. So as we grow, I know one thing, though, is people are like, man, I don't want to pay taxes. Write it all off, blah, 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 right? Well, let me talk to you that's in the first year to 3 years of business. Guys, you want to make as much money on your taxes as possible, right? And you're going to have to pay taxes on it. You're not going to like it. There's going to be a tax bill. You want to show as much profit as possible, because if you are trying to do anything in life and you want to go about and you want to get any type of credit built up, any lines of credit, any type of loan, you want to buy a home, right? Maybe you're the sole provider for your family, your wife stays home. Well, you want to buy a home, you got to have history. You can't just go up there with like you do with a W-2 and say, hey, I want to buy a house. I have 3 months of pay stubs. What can you get me, right? Doesn't work that way. Not at all. It doesn't even come close. Sorry about it. It just is what it is. And so make sure that as you grow, right, in the beginning, you don't want to just suck every penny out of the business. Even if you're paying yourself nicely, right? Even if it's going to yourself, even reinvesting, right? And reinvesting is great. I'm not saying don't reinvest everything in your company. What I'm saying is, even if you did make money, right? Maybe you made $40,000 on a year, but you reinvested all that $40,000 back into the business. So there's nothing on that bottom line to show, hey, we have $40,000 profit in the business. That's what these creditors are looking at. That's what these people that are giving the loans are looking at. And so, again, this shifts as you grow, right? When you get to the point where your business has history and you're paying yourself a W-2 salary, and then you're taking draws and things out of the account after you have profit left over and things like that, then yes, you don't have to show as much profit. But going into it, that's one thing that I learned, is I was like, from the beginning, I was ignorant. I was like, oh, I don't want to pay taxes, I don't want to show money. Well, then you go try to do anything and try to get any type of loan, which we use debt to grow, right? And so I need the tax history. I don't have any, we don't have consumer debt. We don't go crazy with credit cards, things like that. That's not what I'm saying you show your profit for. But we do own a home, right? And so being able to do that, and this is up until you have a W-2, right? When you're on a W-2 salary, like myself, I file as an S-Corp, And so I can now be on payroll in the company. I can actually be on my line item on the payroll. And so when I collect a W-2, I'm getting paid from my employer. I'm paying my Social Security, my FICA, all that stuff on that paycheck that I get every week. And so from that end of things, it looks a little bit different. I haven't tried to go get a big loan. I haven't tried to buy a house or anything doing it this way yet. And even distributions. That's what I was thinking of the word. I was not draws. It's doing distributions. You take a paycheck and then you take distributions afterwards. Anyway, I have not tried to go get a big loan. And after I've had a W-2, but I have had some people, some friends around me that own businesses do some things and try to get loans. And I believe, again, I'm speaking a little bit out of my wheelhouse here. I don't 100% know, but I believe that you're still, even when you're on W-2, you still have to show all your history and things like that if it's your own company. And so just think about those things as you grow, right? Invest in some tax knowledge. Just don't go into it totally blind, because I did like the first 2 years. I was like, man, I don't want to show money. I don't want to show profit, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, well, freak, I can't do anything without any tax. If I got 2 years of tax history, but it doesn't show me making any money, well, then who's going to give me money, right? They think I can't pay for it. And so it's kind of why people say just like do your books straight the right way from the beginning. Because if you do, there's no questions to be asked, right? It's all here. Look, we made money. We can pay for it. Give us the money. Move on, right? Whereas when you're reinvesting every little singular penny back into the business, or you're buying a truck and a loader or something because you're like, man, I don't want to write that check in the year. Got to get some equipment. Got to write it off, right? Well, then you, or maybe you even go buy something personal and you're like, man, I would put it in the business. That's when you have crossover, and that's when you're like, well, oh, you're actually making money. And so just think about those things as you grow, right? A little bit of tax advice there. I should take that back. I should redact that statement. It's not tax advice. This is just some things that we did early on and things that I realized as we've grown. We do now file as an S corp, and I can't break that down 1,000,000% for you. I'm not even going to try to. But what I do know is that by doing that, and we wanted to do that. My accountant advised me, he's like, look, you want to do this when you get to a certain dollar amount. You don't want to file as an S corp when you're making $100,000 a year. It just doesn't make sense, because the filing fee is much more. Like, I think I pay, again, it's cheap, but I know my guy's pretty cheap compared to a lot, but I pay, I don't know, $1,000 I believe for my S corp filing. And so it is cheaper, right? It is cheaper than having to, or no, it's more expensive. I'm sorry. My goodness, I'm going all over the place. It is cheap relatively to what other people charge to have taxes done, right? But his just like normal Schedule C filing is much cheaper than the S corp filing. So the S corp way that it does is the Growing Green files its own tax return, right? And then I file a tax return individually as a W-2 employee. And so I pay all the tax. I save some money because I'm not getting double taxed on my draws and things. I don't have to pay Social Security and all that on the profit of the company. Whereas before you did, because it was just all in one thing. I just pay what I pull out on my W-2 now. So I believe that's the way it works. Again, I'm not going to claim to be the most tax savvy person out there. I just know those are some things that worked for us in the beginning. And now as we grow, I want to make sure and surround people with I just want to surround myself with the people who are going to help me get the furthest. And it's not in my wheelhouse to go like become a tax professional. It doesn't really interest me that much. I don't believe it's a good way to spend my time. And so I just want to make sure that as we grow, I put people in my corner that are going to help me get there. And so it's we got a bright thing ahead. We have a big year ahead of us. We just got our on-site fuel, which has been so massive. You probably saw that reel today if you saw Instagram. Like, on-site fuel is going to change the game for us rolling out in the mornings. It's just going to get us so much more efficient. We are going to fill up every single day when we come in now. And so it's on the left side of where we're going to pull up. We're going to pull up. You're going to fill your truck up. You're going to fill your mowers up, whatever you have, fill your gas cans. and everything is going to have gas when we roll out the next morning. We also implemented a little community store. And so we went to Sam's. We spent I forgot who I saw that does this, but I've seen a couple people do this. We went to Sam's, spent like $400 on snacks, drinks, energy drinks, Powerades, all the things. They're going to stay in the container. And now, as we go through the season, everything in that container is $1, right? Everything on the store is $1. And it's not for me to make money. It's for me I'm going to recoup a little bit, right? I'll recoup a little bit of what we spent. And I'll probably, truth be told, if we truly keep everything's $1 and we manage it well, then I probably will make a little bit of money on it. But that money's just going to get reinvested back into the snack fund. But everything in there's $1. And so the reasoning and the thought behind that is maybe if you're like, well, you want to take some idea or something, maybe take this and implement it for you. If you haven't heard it, the idea behind that is so that everything is $1, but everything in there is cheaper than what you're going to find at a gas station. There's nothing in there that you're not going to find anything at a gas station cheaper than $1. I've yet to find it. If you can find something, let me know. Maybe a pack of gum or something. But I've yet to see anything that is less than $1. And so what we're doing is we're eliminating the gas station stop, and we're also going to save our employees money, because when we go to the gas station, they're buying the $5 beef jerky sticks, they're buying the $3 Gatorades and the Cokes and whatever else goes with it, right? And that's just not it's a lose-lose for everyone. Like, we lose time at the gas station, right? We have 3 guys sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes, filling up, going to the store, blah, blah, blah. You're out 45 minutes to an hour of billable time that you should be on a job. And they're also spending unnecessary money. Like, these guys spend thousands of dollars a year at a gas station. I could guarantee you that. At least $1,000. At least $1,000. And so it's just like you're throwing money away. You're throwing money away. You're going to poop it out later. And it's just because they're in the moment and they want something. Well, now we're going to take that option away from them in a good way, right? In a good way. But we're going to give them this store, and we're going to give them the option to go in there, and everything that's in there is $1. And so they're going to save money purchasing, and then they're going to have it with them, and there's no more gas station stops. There's no more need to go in. We're going to fill up. We don't have it yet, but we're also most likely going to get a porta potty on site. So it's going to be on a trailer, and then it's going to be mobile. So if we want to take it to a design build or a landscape project that we're doing, then we're going to be able to take it out there. It's going to be there for a couple of days, and we're also going to keep it at the property, so we have a place to go to the bathroom up there. And so there's really we're eliminating a lot of the things that just eat up unbillable time, and I'm looking forward to increasing our billable time. I think that we're going to get a lot faster. I just know if you don't deal with gas station stops with multiple people yet, guys, as you grow, you will. They just suck the life out of you. At least they do for me. Every morning when I leave or when I send the guys out, and then I see when they actually start, it just makes my skin crawl how long we sit in the gas stations. And it's just part of it. It's just part of the morning rush, especially when school's in, there's kids there getting snacks and things. Every other contractor in America is there in the morning, and it's just we have to eliminate this. The fact that every company with full fleet don't have on-site fuel blows my mind. We have an HVAC company near us, easily has 30 to 40 trucks. They're at the gas station every morning. Every single morning. And they're just dragging their feet, taking their time, and I'm like, how do you do this? How does it make sense? But anyway, I guess it does for them. So I'm excited. We are implementing a lot of things. We're going to measure a lot of things better this year. What gets measured gets managed, right? Just remember that. And I want to just make sure that you are listening to the right people and doing the right things as you decide to grow, right? So I'm going to sit here and talk to you about the things I know about, right? I'm not going to act like I'm a tax professional. It's not happening, because I promise you I'm not, right? I'm not a tax professional. I don't want to act like I am. I know a little bit to be dangerous, but that's it. And so this is something that I want to make sure, little side tangent here before you wrap up. I'm probably going to play a little clip here, because I want to make sure that we are bringing the most value to you and you are learning and growing from it. was listening to Hormozi's podcast the other day, and something really stuck out to me. And so I've claimed this, I've talked about this. I'm never going to talk about something here on this show that I don't know anything about, right? It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I am all about true, transparent honesty. Like, hey, this is what we're here for. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. I'm going to share what's working for us along the way. This is what we're going to hear. What you're going to hear right here is something that eats me alive, and it just burns me up when people do this. And I just want you to hear it. I want you to. This is how we're going to end the show. I want you to think about this as you grow and as you listen, as you consume content. Make sure you're vetting who you're listening to. Make sure that you are actually you see that what they're doing is producing fruits, and they're doing what they say they're doing, right? Don't let somebody coach you and teach you, and you pay for crap that they've never done what they're talking about. And there's a lot of gurus out there. The social media space has gone crazy. Make sure that you are investing your time in the right place with the right people who are truly helping you grow due to their knowledge in certain aspects. And so take it for what it's worth. If you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to, but I promise you it's going to be a really solid next 60 to 120 seconds. Just take a listen. I appreciate you listening in today on the show, a little shorter show. You know, our Wednesdays have been shorter here. We're going to get some guest interviews lined up, and we're excited to hit the spring hard for you. But I'm excited. This is going to be a great year ahead. 2025 is definitely going to be our best year. Y'all listen in. Make sure that you can take this and implement it in your own personal life. Don't listen to people that are trying to just lead you the wrong way and take your money. But anyway, y'all have a great rest of the day. Thanks for tuning in. Check out this clip. It's going to be really, really good. I know it.
And even understanding here is just you might even have to just do the work to have credibility to make the content about whatever you're making it on. And you know what? I'm going to side quest this real quick. A lot of people make content right now, and they're trying to hit it big. But what they do is, in my opinion, you've got entertainers and you've got educators. The thing is that a lot of people who haven't done shit are trying to educate on things they haven't done. And so they have no credibility. And so the thing is that the reason Mr. Beast was able to get so big is that when he was 15 years old, he wasn't teaching people about business. He was being funny and being cool. People are like, oh, I want to be like him. And so then they say, oh, I'm going to educate people on house flipping. But they're 22 years old and they haven't flipped that many houses. And so they have no credibility in their content. And so in my opinion, when you're doing this content thing, if you're going to do it, then make sure that you have the backing of experience and proof, because then I promise you, when you get shit on from the public, because you will, because they don't know who you are, and most people are lying, you'll be able to know that what you're saying is true because you lived it. And so then you won't second guess yourself. The people who tank and self-implode because they're they can't handle the hate is because on some level they believe it. So if you want to be an educator, then I think that the middle ground, the pre-education stage, is the documentation stage, where you just say, this is what I'm doing now, check it out. Right now, I can't educate really on I can't educate on 9 figures a month. Haven't been there. I know what 8 figures a month is. Don't know how to get to 9 figures a month. I have my theory, which is that I just have to add time to this equation. The math spells that out, but I just got to wait. Once I get there, then I can talk about how to build $1 billion portfolio. And you can imagine how my content might change. Right? And so if you're making 6 figures a year and trying to talk about how to make 7 and you've never made 7, then you're full of shit. And you rightfully should get the hate that you do. Right? And so these are skills that you have to learn how to acquire to make content. And to make code, you have to learn how to go code. And this is how little I know about coding. This is it. So I would even give you examples of micro skills, but you have to learn HTML and JavaScript and Ruby and Python. That's about it. That's all I know. And data architecture. And yep, that's it. That's all I got. And so you have to learn these smaller skills to then say, I'm very excellent at code, so that I can then have more leverage on the things that I do.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.